Hi, good morning, everyone. We are going to get started this morning. We have an excellent presentation for you. We're going to be talking about how your website can be found on the internet. We've got a nice little graphic here that shows your website being represented as the needle and the internet being represented as the haystack, and how can you get your website to be found on the internet today. So Sprocket Websites brings you a presentation today. We're going to be talking about how to have your websites be discovered. On the presentation today, we have Brienne Bannon, who is our digital marketing manager, going to be talking a lot about the topics today. Don Gingold, one of the co-founders and managing directors of Sprocket, will be talking about the technical aspects of how to implement some of these changes today. I myself, I'm Jim Nagy. I'm a co-founder, managing director of Sprocket also, and I'll be kind of your guide today through our presentation. So let's just jump right in and talk about who needs a website. We've got lots of different professions and organizations and things that people who need websites, such as small businesses, either nonprofits, maybe event planners, professional associations, and you need a website out on the internet. And so we've been building websites for all these groups for the last 15 years, and we've built all different kinds of websites for people. So we're going to kind of jump right in and talk a little bit about the websites and how to have that website be discovered. So once you've decided that you need a website for your business or your organization or your hobby project or whatever you're working on, there's lots of decisions that have to be made about getting that website up and running. First and foremost is to come up with a domain name. The domain name is very important to your website. It's kind of your calling card, what people are going to be using to find your website, how they will remember your website, how they'll remember your business. It should tie in with your business name as close as possible. Lots and lots of domain names are already taken, but there are good domain names still available that can help you be recognized on the internet. So very important to be thinking about your domain name up front and not just choosing some catchy little name, but choosing a name that helps you be found on the internet. So if you're selling sprinkler systems, then you want to have the word sprinkler in your domain name somewhere. And if you're selling pizzas, always best to have pizza in your domain name if you can make it happen. The next thing that you're going to jump into is your website builder. What are you going to use to build your website? What platform are you going to use to build it on? Is it going to be WordPress? Is it going to be DNN or .NET Nuke? Will you use a service like GoDaddy or Wix or Squarespace or any one of those tools that are out there for building websites? Which one of those will you use? It matters. The right domain, the right website builder, such as WordPress or DNN, can have a big effect on how your website gets found because of their speed and performance. So a slow website certainly doesn't rank as high as a fast website. So one of the things that you want to be thinking about is what will be the tool you use to build your website. After you've had those couple of things decided, you're going to jump into what kind of pages do you want on your website? Every website has a home page or a main landing page, and it's got images and content and messages on it. So you're going to want to think about, what do you want to say? How do you want to say it? How do you want to grab people's attention and really get them to kind of dive a little deeper into your website? Once you have that kind of home page or main landing page layout thought about, that type of information, you'll start to think about additional pages such as products or services, maybe about your business, like why did you get into business and why are you doing this? Maybe you'll want to write some blogs to have some new content and showcase your expertise. Lots of different, types of additional pages that you can put on your website. Not all pages need to be created day one. You can start out with a landing page and maybe your product or service page and start adding additional pages as you go. Finally, you're going to want to have a way for somebody to get a hold of you on your website. So it's through either forms, email, phone information, any way that they can contact you to take the next steps if they discover they want to do business with you. And or if you're an e-commerce site, do you want to have a way for them to purchase your products? Lots of different things there. So many things to consider, many decisions to make when you're getting started building your website. But this isn't a seminar about building websites. This is a seminar about building traffic. So The next piece here is, how are they going to find you? Once you have their website out there and you've taken that needle and you've thrown it into the haystack, how are people going to find your website? There are billions of websites that are out there, and how are you going to be found? So the things that we're going to talk about today are search engine optimization, social media marketing, maybe some, Google business profiles, and a variety of different ways for your website to be found. But there are so many things that you should be doing to help your website be found, like talking about it, going to trade shows and networking events, and handing out your business card that has your website on it, and maybe doing an email to your customers and or potential customers and letting them know that you have a website. There's lots of things that you can do. We're a digital marketing company. We've been doing this for years, and we definitely want to help you be found. So who are the people that are coming to your websites? They're all different kinds: the information seeker, the professional, somebody who has a problem. And when do they want to look at your website? All the time. So your website really needs to be available and have the right information so that they can find you and find your information and know that they want to do business with you. So we're going to get started today by jumping into SEO. And we've got, like I said, we're talking about SEO and social media marketing. But first, we're going to get started with SEO. And I want to turn that over to Brianne and let her jump into how your website can be found through search engine optimization.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I want to start by giving an overview of what SEO actually is. So Jim just spoke about creating your website and what goes into that. And then SEO is one of those factors to driving traffic. It's a large factor to driving traffic to your website. So what SEO is, it starts for search engine optimization, and it's the process of optimizing your website with relevant keywords so that it improves visibility on search engines like Google. So just like this graphic shows, if somebody's searching for something, we want your website to show up at the top. The goal of search engine optimization is to make sure that your website's ranking higher in search engine page results than other websites like yours when people are looking for relevant keywords or phrases. So what that means is, if a high value keyword for your business happens to be banana, then the point of SEO is for your website to show up at the top of search results when someone types in the word banana. The first step to that is research. SEO starts with research. And so the idea is to take how you think people might be searching for your business and then using that information to find out how they're actually searching for your business. Once you discover what those search terms are, then it's time to optimize your website and your web presence so that you're found the way that people are really searching for you. Okay, so the first step here is to identify how people are searching, like I said. So generally, how people search for your business is much different than how you think that they might be searching. So when people are looking for products or services, information, whatever you offer, they're usually turning to search engines like Google. They'll type in a specific word or phrase of words related to what they're looking for. And then it's important to identify which exact queries people are using to find products like yours. It is varied by industry, it's varied by service. So this really takes a bit of research to figure out the right terms. So the way that we do this is we start by developing a list of search terms that you think, as an expert in your own industry, that people are using. And then we run them through a variety of keyword tools to find out how people are actually searching and what the data is behind that. We'll also at that time run your website through a series of paid tools, SEO tools like Ahrefs and Surfer SEO. And this audits your own website to show what you're currently ranking for or not ranking for right now. So this is when people usually ask, what about Google AdWords? So is this the same as organic SEO? We're talking about organic SEO today. No, it's not. So the primary difference between organic SEO, which is what we're discussing today, and paid Google AdWords is how you attract the traffic. So Google AdWords is actually a paid advertising. So the first difference is cost, right? So organic SEO is a non-paid strategy. It's research, optimization, and implementation, and then you're constantly tweaking it. And then Google Ads involves paying for each click on each ad. And then next is placement. So once those things are in place, the organic SEO efforts will get your website to the top of natural search results, whereas Google Ads get your ad to the top of search results before the natural ads start. Then the next piece of it is speed. So Google Ads turn on instantly. It's immediate visibility, whereas organic SEO takes time to build up and achieve high rankings. It takes a couple of months. We usually say 2 or 3 months to see those big results, but you will see big results. And then the last difference then, because of that, is sustainability. Google Ads, just like you can turn them off instantly or on instantly, they turn off instantly. So you will fall off of search rankings the second you don't pay Google for those ads. And organic SEO provides sustainable traffic over long term. Even if you stop doing SEO for some reason, it's still going to last. Those efforts are going to have longevity beyond just turning off an ad. So the second step, after you've done the research, then once your research is complete, you identify which high value keywords to optimize for, then there's several steps to implement both on and off your website. So the first piece of this is implementation on your website. And we start with meta information. If you think of Google as a library and your website as a book, Google wants to make sure that your book is cataloged, correctly. So the title tag and meta description tell Google exactly what your website's about. And Google wants to give people the most relevant search results possible. So they're looking for those high value keywords in your title tag and your meta description to make sure that they're sending people to a relevant search result. Then there's keyword optimization on your pages and content formatting. So again, search engines prefer well-structured content. They want proper headings and subheadings and paragraphs. So once SEO research is complete, then we rewrite the existing content that you already have on your website to kind of strategically incorporate those keywords throughout your site. Paying really special attention to headings and subheadings and paragraphs to make sure they're tagged appropriately behind the scenes, because the keywords and the headings and subheadings are ranked much higher than keywords and paragraphs. And Don's going to talk more technically about some examples of how to implement that on the website in his next section. But once website implementation is complete, then it's time to look at implementation off of your website. And so this goes into backlinks. You've got the high value keywords, you've optimized your website, so that's set to send traffic to. Then it's time to start designing or building backlinks from other websites to your website. So this is when other websites are mentioning your website with a link to your website from them. And the reason that we do this is search engines consider that as indicators of a site's credibility. It's like a increased trust score, right? If somebody else is talking about you, then you must be a relevant source of information. And the more backlinks from other websites linking to your website, the more your trust score improves with Google. And then the last piece, you've got your website updated, you've got these backlinks built, then you want to look, especially for local businesses trying to reach local traffic, at a Google My Business page. You either create or optimize a Google My Business page for your business. And this is advantageous for your SEO because it enhances local search visibility through the Maps tool and the local map pack tool. And it's a Google platform, so Google trusts it. And it's a trustworthy online presence through Google, and it gives accurate business information that other directories pull from. And so once the last step here, after you've optimized everything, created these backlinks, then is to index it. So Google sends spiders to crawl websites to see what they say. And they kind of think they already know what your website's about. So once you optimize it, we have to tell Google, we've updated this. It's not what you think it is. We have these great keywords now, recrawl it. So once you've optimized your website, we want to use an indexing tool to resubmit your website to Google and any new business listing you created as backlinks to go back through and recrawl. And this is the last step so that Google can count those new keywords and improve your position in search ranking in the search results accordingly. So just to recap, SEO is about optimizing your website to align with how search engines work so that it's more likely to appear higher in the search results when people are looking for products or services or whatever related to your business. So the goal is to present your content in a way that search engines can easily understand and rank. And many times business owners will have a specific way that they want their website to look and feel. And that's understandable, but you have to keep in mind that if you want to be found online and rank well on Google, then you have to play the SEO game as well.
Perfect, yes. And to go along with that look and feel and what people ask for when they come to us and say that please build a website is they don't really think about the things that Brianne just told you about. They think about a pretty looking website. And of course, we want to make a pretty website because we ultimately have people coming to these websites and reading what's there and being persuaded to buy or join your cause or whatever your reason is for having your website. That's important. But what's even more important is that underneath all of that, that pretty picture, the spiders are seeing something like this, which is not at all pretty, but it's the information that is behind the pretty pictures. The nice looking website is all built on a computer program. Most of you heard the term HTML or JavaScript or other terms like that. The website is a whole bunch of programming, and the spider understands the programming. So you have to know a little bit about it. You don't have to know how to code all of this by hand, but you do need to know a couple of things, like perhaps the title of the page. You think of the title of the page as being the first big words that you see on the page. That might not necessarily be. So I'll show you a couple of things here that are the crucial few elements that start your technical SEO. The page name, most people think of the page name as, the home page or the about page. And those actually, when the browser calls, when you type in a name in, or you click a link in Google to go to a website, you're going to the website, but the browser is saying, hey, fetch me a file. And that file has a file name, just like your Word docs have file names, or your spreadsheets have file names. The website pages have file names, and that's what the page name is. And the title, of course, is not just the nice words that show up. That's the H1 tag. The title is something underneath that the web page spiders and the web page browsers understand. And the description is something that's underneath as well, that's hiding underneath. And most of the time what happens is you see these kinds of things. The main page is the index page. So that's nice for computer people, but it's not good for SEO. The title of your in the bottom underneath the website should not be home. It should be what your product or service is that you're offering. The H1, what people see when they first get to the page, that should be very much related to the work that Brianne just told you need to do, the research and what terms people are looking for, and then you come up with what that name should be. And when those two things match, not only are the search engines happy, but the people that get to your website are happy. And then the last thing, the meta description, instead of it being just the generic description that the platform tool throws in there, go ahead and make it something that is related to all of those words that are tied into the research that's been done. So technical part is very important, so that once you're positioned on the search engines, that you will be, or when you present to the search engines will see you and say that you rank much better. It's like a grade. So if you get a high grade, then you're going to be higher up in the list. If you get a poor grade, you're going to be further down. And nowadays, even though Google has changed it from page 1 to page 2, and now it's just one long stream, you still have to keep clicking, give me more, give me more, give me more. And nobody clicks the give me more. They want to be right there on that first few that are being shown. So technical SEO is very important.
So I'd like to jump in with a case study. We've been talking about some of our clients and some of the things that we've done. And I want to talk about how Sprocket actually does this for our clients. So the first thing that we do when we engage with a client is we do what we call a business trends and tracking analysis. Now, it's a fancy title for us to get to know who the customer is, who the customer thinks their customers are, who's actually coming to their website, what keywords they're actually using to find their website, and all kinds of information about how people are actually discovering that needle in the haystack. We reveal in our business trends and tracking analysis. At the end of that, we produce a great report that we discuss with the client that's theirs. They can take it with them and go use it in any way that they want to use it with. But it has all that information: who's your customer, how they're searching, what they're searching for, how long they're spending on your website, what pages that they're actually looking at. We discover all that information and we share it with our customer. If the customer wants us to make changes to their website, we have a recommendation section about here's the things that you should change on your website. We do that through our reporting and implementation phase. We call that our impact analysis and review website maintenance, because we're going to do this on a monthly basis. We're going to continue to look at your website. Every website that's out there is changing constantly, and Google is updating the way that it wants to display websites. And so this is not a set it and forget it type activity. This is an activity that you have to work on every day. You have to look at, you have to maintain. And if you want to get ahead of your competition, you need to be more active than they are when they're for their website. We have other tools that we use called Google Business Profile engagement, where Brianne had talked about making sure that your local search was set up. That's another thing that needs to be set up and maintained. We need to encourage people to leave reviews. We need to post new photos and new content. We need to keep that profile update and active so that Google keeps moving it to the top of the list. There are other sites beyond Google, what we call, directory sites that list your website, your name, your address, your phone number. We want to make sure that all of those websites have accurate information as well. So we have a service where we can submit to those directories and keep your information accurate and updated, like your hours of operation and those kinds of things. So that's a service that we provide, and lots of analytics and reporting information. This particular chart I want you to look at, and you can see that there was a big jump at the end of July. And this coincides with what Brianne talked about re-indexing. So this was a submittal. We did a bunch of work for this client, and we did a resubmit to their to Google and said, hey, come re-index this website. And all of a sudden it came to life. And the updates that we did, the keywords that we put on there, the optimizations that we did really started generating additional traffic for this website. And one of the things that I have in the upper right-hand corner here is their contact form for that time period, which is 90 days, has been filled out 107 times. So they're getting, contact information. People are reaching out. Almost every day, somebody is filling out their form and asking for more information. So this is the type of service that Sprocket can provide for you. Next, we're going to talk a little bit, we're going to switch gears to use our Sprocket terms. And we're going to switch gears and move over to social media marketing. Once you have your website optimized, you have your SEO set, and you're being, they're being found on Google, you're being found for searches, the next step is to get out on social media. Lots of people try to make this mistake and jump right into social media, but you need to have these foundational pieces in place first. And now we're going to talk a little bit, Brianne's going to talk a little bit about social media marketing and how we build relationships and drive traffic through social media.
Yes. Okay. So like Jim was saying, you have to have those foundational steps in place first, which is backwards for a lot of people with social media. And especially now in 2023, there's a lot that jump right into the social media game. And there's some that are successful in that. But generally they have to backtrack quite a bit and then catch the website part up. And you'll see that with brands that do that first. So once you have your website established and you are generating traffic to it and it's optimized and ready for users, that's when you want to start sending people to it. So whether that's through organic search, like we talked about, or something like a social media channel. Now, a strong social media presence is crucial for any small business to effectively reach new customers and pull people in. But it's also about engagement and brand awareness and that sort of thing too. So I want to jump into some of that today and talk about all of the benefits of social media beyond just getting new customers in. So the first piece of it obviously is customer reach. There are billions of people that use social media platforms every day. I'm sure all of you do to some degree. And so that's an audience, right? And it's an audience that your business didn't have before. So it allows you to connect with people in your target audience and expand your reach beyond who you're currently reaching, to talk to your existing clients with whatever you'd like to say to them, and then also new potential customers as well. And I'll jump into brand awareness. So talking on social media is a consistent way for you to get your brand in front of customers, and you're building a relationship there. You're presenting to the world your brand identity, who you are, what your company is about, and then you're sharing content that's related to your products and services at the same time. So that helps customers recognize your brand and remember who you are when they're going to buy products like that. So we're reaching out for new sales and new leads constantly, but also remaining top of mind when you create a presence on social media is important, because then people are thinking of you when they have the need for that product. They're not always going to buy a toothbrush the moment that they see your business, but if you have a consistent presence on social media, then that's what they're going to remember when they're looking for something like that. The next piece of it is customer engagement. So social media obviously allows you to directly interact with your audience in a way that, just having a website won't do. You can respond to people, you can talk to people as much or as little as you want to. People like responsive brands. So if you're responding to comments and messages and responding to reviews and letting people know that you care about their voice, it builds a connection and a trust with your audience that you didn't have before. It also encourages people to share your comment or your content, which expands your audience even further organically. And then lead generation. So obviously that's what the goal here is, to have this valuable content that you put out, these promotions, these calls to action for people, and you want that to generate leads for your business and bring in new customers. So social media does that tenfold if you're doing it correctly. So we recommend a consistent presence on social media, whether that's big or small. You're posting consistently and you're posting relevant content. Cat videos are cute, but if they have nothing to do with your brand, then it's not helping you, right? And then from that, you're going to gain a few things. You're going to gain insights into your customers. So you'll see how they act, what their behaviors are, what their preferences are for the kind of things that you're putting out, and you can adjust your strategies depending on that. And then a competitive advantage, because not every business has a consistent social media presence. So if yours is one of the businesses that does, then you have a leg up over the competition. And you can see what people are doing around you with your competitors effectively and ineffectively, and tailor your strategy that way as well. I want to talk about a little bit about the difference between organic and paid posts on social media, because they are two different beasts, and we think that you should do both in conjunction together, but they are two different things. So organic posts on social media is the regular content that you put on your business's social media profiles without paying for it, right? These aren't boosted posts, these aren't ads, they're posts or stories that are shown to your followers or anyone who visits your profile. And these are the ones that they're building relationships, providing that value, and showing your brand's personality, products, services, all that kind of thing. And then paid posts are where you're actually investing money to promote that content to a bigger audience. Organic posts are reaching who your followers already are. Paid posts are reaching an audience that you target who isn't currently seeing your information on social media. So you can target specific demographics, interests, behaviors. There's a whole host of things that you can target now for paid advertising, so that your content is reaching new users who are more likely to be interested in what you're offering. Paid posts are labeled as sponsored posts often, so people are going to know that they're paid, but this doesn't mean that they're negative. They'll be in front of new eyeballs, and that's going to expand your reach a lot further than it previously was. And so the next piece is benefits to each, because you should have each. It's not just getting in front of new people all the time, right? Organic posts have a lot of benefits. The first is authenticity. It's you speaking directly to your customers in a way that allows you to connect with your audience on a more personal level. So you're showing the human side of your business. Through that, you're building relationships where you can engage with your followers, you're responding to comments, you build whatever sort of a community on your brand that you want on that page. And it's obviously more cost effective because you're either hiring someone to post for you or you're posting yourself, but you're not also paying for those posts as ads. They're free. It's free to post. So if you have a smaller advertising budget, a good way to start in social media is with organic posts, because you can put your focus there and build the brand image that you want without paying the extra money to also advertise them. Paid posts, the benefits are a wider reach. They go beyond your follower base, which increases your visibility and brand awareness. And you're able to target your audience in a way that you can't. Organic posts is just whoever's following your page. Paid posts, you can reach specific demographics and really target those behaviors of the type of people that you want to reach with these posts. You're going to get faster results because, again, it's a wider audience that is behaving in a way that they're going to engage with that content. And then these are ideal for paid promotions, specific campaigns. If you had a Labor Day sale, for instance, a paid post would be a great way to get that out to a big audience in a quick way. So to wrap it up, having a social media presence is essential for small businesses. We recommend it for any kind of small business. Now, what kind of a social media presence you want is going to depend on what kind of a business you are. And for us, we usually approach social media. What kind of business are you? Who are your customers? Where are they? This is where we recommend that you are, that sort of thing. So, your organic posts are going to get engagement and build relationships with your existing customers. And then your paid posts are going to target new customers with a bit quicker results. So we recommend a balanced approach for this. And if you go about it the right way, it's a really good way to reach your business objectives with connecting with your audience and reaching a new audience.
Very true. So Brianna has told you two different ways to generate traffic. So you have your search engine stuff where people are actively looking for a service or a product that you provide. They don't know you and you want them to find you. So you do various things to make that happen. And Brianne gave you the 20,000 foot version of what things to be done. Then there's the other side where you reach out to people, and that's the social media side of things. And they weren't looking for you at all. They were scrolling through their feed of various things from friends, things from business, looking at various platforms, whether it be Facebook or TikTok or Instagram or what have you. And they're looking through those things. And all of a sudden, boom, it's sort of like watching a TV show and seeing an ad pop up. That's been the formula for years to get people to learn about you. In that case, and she had brought that up before, especially brand awareness, where they're not going to click to buy now, but they're going to put that in the back of their mind. And then when they're at the store, they're going to buy Pepsi as opposed to Coke because they just saw that Pepsi commercial and they really liked it. So likewise, they're going to do the same thing with social media. In either way, in our cases, we want people to be driving back to the website. So what we find is that people, we go through those steps with people, and then we have the inevitable meeting where someone says, yeah, I've got a bunch of people coming to the site, but I'm not getting any phone calls, or I'm not getting enough of what I want. It's either not enough or there just doesn't see the change. And we realize with them, we explain to them that the problem is that they're not converting. So the formula for success is traffic plus conversion. So traffic, of course, the things that Brianne told you to do, drives people to the website. Now they're there. Now what? The information that's on the website is very important to convince them to do what it is that you want them to do. In one case, it's a simple, like an e-commerce store where you're trying to sell a thing, and you want them to click the buy now and buy it. Now, of course, they need to be persuaded. They need to know why this is the best thing for them. All of that kind of stuff needs to be on the web page. So we come back to the page after we've done all the things that we wanted to do to make it a good attractor, so that the spiders crawl through the page, they find those right things, they put them in the right categories, you show up higher and higher in the search engine results, so people are coming to the site. Now let's look again at the anatomy of the web page. A basic website anatomy 101. You want to start with a engagement. The first thing that they see is something that catches their eye and says, this is what it is that you do. So it's a clear offer. These folks here are pool designers and builders. So you know that that's what you're getting when you get to the website. But then the next thing, that after they do that, they're going to start looking down the page. And the first thing that you want them to be able to do is buy whatever it is that you're offering, whether that is join a cause, buy a product, sign up for me to come out and talk to you, whatever it is, give them an option. So, but they don't all want that. So make it clear that they're getting a choice. People like to choose. Give them a choice to buy, but then if they're not quite sure yet, give them an obvious choice to learn more. And if they're saying, you know what I've seen so far is not at all what I want, give them a choice for that too, because it's quite possible that what they saw that you thought would be the best thing to show them was not exactly aligned with how they're thinking. So maybe you could say a few things on the next page after they click that says that maybe there's alternatives. This is not what I wanted. What more do you have? Maybe there is when you can describe things a little bit in a different way or additional way that they say, I get it. Or it may not be that they're your customer and you just screen them to the point where now you know that the message that you have there, that when they clicked on that, you're measuring these things and you see that a bunch of people are clicking there. Maybe you have to tune what it is that you showed them in that engagement picture at the beginning, but at least now you know. So give them the choices. The next thing that they want is, well, if I'm going to work with you, can I trust you? And so give them the trust marks. If you are a Better Business Bureau business, so that you, if they clicked on it and they saw that the BBB says, yep, they're good, or Good Housekeeping, or whatever your trade has for accreditation, show that. If you've won awards, show those. If you have large corporations that you work for, put those there. You see down here on the screen, you see a scroller. People love to have that movement. I mean, it goes way back into our animal psyche that we react to movement. So put a scroller on there that shows the customers that you have, especially if they're name brands, so that people, oh, you guys work for them? Well, gosh, you must be pretty good. I'd like you to work for me. So tell them, get them to give them enough information so that they trust you. Because remember, we buy from people that we know and trust. All right. So it's important to establish that. They may not. That may not be, that's not as simple as it is, but that's a great first start to give them something that they trust. But once that happens, you've given them an initial chance to buy something from you. As soon as they saw that engagement at the top, one of the options there was to buy. Now they've scrolled down further down the page. Don't forget that as they're scrolling, the wheels are spinning in their mind. So give them another opportunity to buy from you again. So maybe it's just a click to let's get started and you fill out a lead form, or maybe it's jump to the next step so that you know some more about what is to be, take them further down the path of purchase. But they might not be ready for that yet. So again, they keep on scrolling, and when they continue to scroll, at this point, you showed them what it is that you do. You've given them some choices as to, should I buy this today or not? You've said other people are doing this and people trust us and we're doing this good by other people's standards, and you said, are you sure you're ready to do this? Maybe they're still not, but a great thing to do is to offer some kind of a guarantee. It's shocking how many people don't offer this, because so many people will say, that's exactly what I want, although they'll never try to take you up on a guarantee. They'll just say, that's good, I want that. And then when they buy it, if it's not exactly for them, well, okay, well, it wasn't exactly for them. I didn't quite get it. Very few people actually turn around and say, I want my money back. Most people will say, okay, I tried this. It wasn't what I wanted. Maybe I won't buy your thing the next time I go to the store. Maybe I should try another flavor of what it is that you're offering for the next time. But they don't come back and literally say, I want my money back. So don't be too afraid of, gosh, somebody is going to want the money back that, I worked hard to get. When you do that, people trust you more, and a lot more people are going to say yes to you and buy what you have. So there's a whole bunch more dollars in the pocket for you for that very rare person that says, you know what, I really don't want what you offer me, give me my money back, to gladfully do it. So again, now you've followed down the path and they're going down this journey with you. And you said, don't worry about it. You're gonna like it, and if you don't like it, don't worry about it, we'll take care of you. Ask them again. So another time, where whatever that is, a buy now button or a little lead form or a click to go here, that kind of thing. Give them the next step. Keep asking along the way. So let's say they didn't. The next great thing to do is to give them some kind of a sample. So they like what you're offering, but they're not ready to buy, but maybe they would if I knew a little bit more. Maybe I'd get a taste of this. So if you have a product, we've all done this where we have a sample is sent to us, or we go to a store and there's somebody at a little table that's frying up little pieces of sausage or chopping up little pieces of cheese. Try it out. Do you like this? It's right over here. Or even so, here's a package that was, you can go hunt it on the shelf, but I happen to have a stack here. Here you go, put it in your cart. We've all gone through that kind of a thing. We all like it. So go ahead and do it yourself. Maybe what you want to do is show how somebody else has walked through the whole process. Maybe your business is rather complex, and so the service you provide is multi-step, and maybe it's expensive, or maybe it's just a little bit more what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit more complicated than your traditional just click a button and buy something and it shows up in the mail. So give them a white paper that shows how somebody else walked through that whole process, especially if during the white paper, in the middle of the white paper, it says from a quote from the customer that, oh, I loved how they did that. They were really helpful. They were very responsive. Yes, we stumbled someplace, but they corrected it right away. We're all human. So have something that shows the process. The other thing you could do is give them some free time. Have a consultation, a no obligation free consultation that shows them what it is, how it would be like to work with you, because you're going to get on a Zoom session, or if you're a local business, you're going to come in and take a look at what they're doing. And of course, that free time is a great opportunity to sell some more with them. No matter what, you want to end with a call to action. You want to say whatever it is that you offer, end with that, because they're at the end of the page. They're looking and saying, I don't know what I'm going to do next. Well, the best thing that you can do is say, this is what I want you to do. And you'll get more people to click and say, okay, yeah, this sounds right. In my head, I'm thinking back, and what I've seen as I've scrolled through this page, I'm ready to buy. So click the buy now button. If what you do is join a cause, then click the button to sign up. If what you do is a free consultation, or the next thing you have to do is sign up, and all you have to do is give your email address, and we'll go from there and continue and do that. Put that on there. So that's the basic flow that you should walk people through after you've done all of that work to get people here, because you want them, now that they're here, to like what you're offering and to engage with you. Take that next step.
Okay, so we've gone through a lot of information today. We've covered a lot of ground. We talked about setting up your website, making sure that it's all done correctly. We've gone through about how to use SEO, how to set up SEO to get your website to be found. That was our theme today, is your website is the needle and the internet is the haystack. And through SEO, you can be discoverable, you can be found, you can have your customers find your information and get to your website. Once you have that running, then we move over to social media marketing, where you can work on your brand, you can start to become top of mind, you can engage with your customers, you can reach out and find people who aren't following you on social media through paid advertising. So there's lots of tools, lots of things that we just briefly touched on today. There's so much more behind this that goes in with this. So we just wanted to give you a kind of a flavor and an overview of what Sprocket Websites does every day for our clients, and kind of give you a flavor for what you could do yourself if you'd like to do this yourself. If you find that you get in over your head, or it's too much, or you want some help, you can always reach out to us. We're always here at sales@sprocketwebsites.com. You can call that number, 805-372-1580. Ask for me. I'd be happy to talk with you and tell you about all the things that we can do to help drive new traffic to your business through internet marketing tools. And I'm Jim Nagy. On behalf of Don and Brianne, I'd like to say thank you, and we wrap it up for today. Thank you very much.